Hello, everybody. It's Daniel speaking, and this is our next emotional English podcast where we learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Are you ready, guys, for our next emotional English podcast episode? I hope so. So, first of all, thank you all for listening our great podcast. And I'm really excited to say that some of you letting me know your thoughts, and it's really cool. If you do have any guesses or thoughts or questions related to our podcast episodes or related to your English practice, just let me know on my Instagram page. It's instagram.com/Bondarison. That's all what I wanted to say before we start our next emotional English episode. Today I have a great episode. It's an emotional story. It's an emotional story with some knowledge inside. Okay, so this knowledge called the moral, right? The moral of the story is very important, right? So the name of our today's story is Milkmaid and Her Pail. Milkmaid and Her Pail. That's the name of our mini-story. As always, I read the mini-story, then I kind of asking a couple questions related to the context or content of the part which is just finished. And then we discuss it. If we see the new vocab, I try to explain you deeper what it means and how to use it correctly, right? And step by step, we're getting the knowledge of a new vocab and the use, right? We're getting the knowledge how to use the word correctly. So, try to react. When I ask you the question, try to say what I'm asking you for, okay? So that's the practice. Because when you listen without actions, right? When you're just listening, it's not very good for your personal speaking practice. Yes, you train your ears, you train your listening, right, skill. But I need you to practice your speaking skill as well. So let's try to do it another time. Okay. So first, I will read the whole story without stops, okay? I'm reading it, and then we go piece by piece, okay? So let's read the whole story. Of course, you can understand it maybe 80%, 90%. It's very good. When you understand it 60%, just try to listen it again. If you got it all, perfect. It's just a good revision for you. So let's start. One day, Molly the milkmaid had filled her pails with milk. Her job was to milk the cows and then bring the milk to the market to sell. Molly loved to think about what to spend her money on. As she filled the pails with milk and went to the market, she again thought of all the things she wanted to buy. As she walked along the road, she thought of buying a cake and a basket full of fresh strawberries. A little further down the road, she spotted a chicken. She thought, with the money I get from today, I'm going to buy a chicken of my own. That chicken will lay eggs, and then I will be able to sell milk and eggs and get more money, even more than before. She continued, with more money, I will be able to buy a fancy dress and make all the other milkmaids jealous. Out of excitement, Molly started skipping, forgetting about the milk in her pails. Soon, the milk started spilling over the edges, covering Molly. Drenched, Molly said to herself, "Oh no! I will never have enough money to buy a chicken now." She went home with her empty pails. "Oh my goodness, what's happened to you?" Molly's mother asked. "I was too busy dreaming about all the things I wanted to buy that I forgot about the pails." she answered. Oh, Molly, my dear, how many times do I need to say, don't count your chickens until they hatch? Don't count chickens until they hatch. So the moral of the story is don't count your chicken before they hatch, your chickens, okay? Don't do it. I hope you guys got that, right? So if you got that, you say, gotcha, Daniel, gotcha. I got it all. And let's go and see this story step by step. And then we discuss, and then I ask you questions. Let's try to do it. One day, Molly the milkmaid had filled her pails with milk. Her job was to milk the cows and then bring the milk to the market to sell. Molly loved to think about what to spend her money on. Okay, so first I'll ask you, do you remember what was the girl's name? Yeah. Her name was Polly, right? No, of course not. Not Polly. Her name was Molly. Molly the milkmaid. Who is a milkmaid? Who is a milkmaid? Yeah, it's a kind of a profession, right? It's a girl or woman who milks cows or does other work in a dairy. But in our context, it means a girl or woman who milk cows, okay? So Molly, the milkmaid, she milks cows, okay? So we have next part. She milks cows and then she had filled something, right? What had she filled? She had filled her pails with milk. What does it mean, pails with milk? Pails, it's like a bucket, okay? And it's a bucket. And you milk the cow, and then you filling your pails with milk, okay? So Molly's job was to milk the cows, right? So Molly's job was to move some stuff from the cows, to clean the shit from the cows, or to clean the cows. Of course, her job was to milk the cows, right? Molly's job was to milk the cows, or Zix the goblin job. Of course, Molly's job was to milk the cows. And then bring the milk to the supermarket, right? No, not to the supermarket. So Molly brings the milk to the market to sell, okay? So why Molly brings her milk to the market? Because she wanted to sell it, to get some extra profit, right? To get some money out of it. So she brings milk to the market to sell. And then she loves something. She loves to think about something, right? Of course, she loved something. She loved to think about money and how to spend her money, right? What to spend her money on. For example, you have 10,000 rubles. So what do you think? How or what you spend your money on? On food, on savings, on what? So Molly loved to think about what to spend her money on. So that is a Molly. All right. So now I read the whole paragraph without stop, and then we revise it. One day, Molly the milkmaid had filled her pails with milk. Her job was to milk the cows and then bring the milk to the market to sell. Molly loved to think about what to spend her money on. Good. Now we go to the next paragraph. As she filled the pails with milk and went to market, she again thought of all the things she wanted to buy. As she walked along the road, she thought of buying a cake and a basket full of fresh strawberries. So, as you see here, as she filled the pails with milk and went to market, she again thought of all the things she wanted to buy. Why? Why Molly thought of all the things she wanted to buy? Because she was in love with money. Because she was in love with an idea that she can buy something after she made some money. Okay? So that's an idea why. As she walked along the road, she thought of what? Of buying an iPhone? No, she thought of buying a cake and a little basket with something. Do you remember? The basket full of what? The basket full of fresh strawberries. Okay? So let's start again. As she filled the pails with milk and went to market, she again thought of all the things she wanted to buy. And she walked along the road. She thought of buying a cake and a basket full of fresh strawberries. Who walked along the road? Molly. Molly walked along the road. Molly thought about something. She thought of something. What Molly thought of? Okay, what did Molly think of? That's more practical and more correct, I say, way of asking the question. So, of course, she thought of buying a cake and a basket full of fresh strawberries. Let's go to the third paragraph. A little further down the road, she spotted a chicken. Oh my God, a chicken. Like this. She spotted it. Spotted. Oh my God. She saw a chicken. She thought, with the money I get from today, I'm going to buy a chicken of my own. That chicken will lay eggs, and then I will be able to sell milk and eggs and get more money. Awesome. So what's happened a little further down the road, guys? What had happened? Okay, first, Molly had spotted a chicken, right? Yes, she had spotted a chicken, and then she had thought of something, right? Yeah, she had thought of something related to money again, right? So she thought, with the money I get from today, I'm going to buy a giraffe, right? No, not a giraffe. She's going to buy a chicken, and not just simple chicken, a chicken of her own. What does it mean? A chicken of her own. It's easy. It means that this chicken, you have your personal chicken. Okay, it's the chicken of your own. For example, you have a bicycle. It is your brother's bicycle, but one day you can buy the bicycle of your own. So you own it now. You have it. It's yours. Okay, your own. So then chicken, why? Why she's going to buy a chicken? You can ask, right? Danilo, why? Why she's going to buy a chicken? And it's pretty easy to answer. So she wanted to buy a chicken because chicken will lay eggs. And eggs means that Molly has a chance to sell milk and eggs and get even more money than before. How cool is that? So, why Molly has a chance to sell milk and eggs? because she has her own chicken. She's planning to buy her own chicken. She's going to buy her own chicken. Yeah, the construction I'm going to buy, it's a construction of a plan. When you're planning something, you say, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, right? So it's all about plans. Americans use the short form of it. It's called gonna. I'm gonna buy a chicken. I'm gonna buy a new iPhone. And Molly said, I'm gonna buy a chicken of my own. And that chicken will lay eggs. And then she will be able to sell milk and eggs and get more money. How cool is that? It is amazing for Molly because she loves money. She loved money a lot. So she continued. With more money, I will be able to buy a fancy dress and make all the other milkmaids jealous. Out of excitement, Molly started skipping, forgetting about the milk in her pails. Soon, the milk started spilling over the edges, covering Molly. Okay, so that's another poor paragraph we've got, right? So first, she continued of thinking. What she was thinking of next. She was thinking of money again, right? But not just money. She was thinking of more money. So she said, with more money, I will be able to buy a new bicycle. No, not a new bicycle. A fancy dress. What does it mean, a fancy dress? It's not just a dress, right? It's a fancy dress. Just imagine, you have a dress from the market. Cheap Chinese dress. Is it fancy? No, it is not. It's very cheap. It's useless. Not very beautiful. And people's not gonna like it. But a fancy dress, it's something special. It makes your dress special. It's great. It's pricey. It's expensive. It's beautiful. And you call it, wow, it's fancy. It's great. It's attractive. So a fancy dress. Who is planning to buy a fancy dress? Molly, of course. Molly wants to buy a fancy dress. And she wants to make all the other milkmaids jealous. What does it mean, jealous? To be jealous, right? To make others jealous. It's pretty easy. So when you feel jealous, you feel or showing an envy. Okay. You say, what does it mean, envy? Envy means jealous again, jealousy, right? So when you feel envy, when you have envy inside of you, you feel envious. You feel jealous. You want something what somebody else have, okay, or has. It's very important. When people are jealous, it's very bad. It's a negative feeling. And you don't want to be jealous, okay? Just feel the excitement of things what you have right now. That's more important for your life. Because when you feel jealous about somebody else or about something else, let's say, oh, your friend has an iPhone, new iPhone 14, right? And you're like, oh, I want the same iPhone. I feel jealous. I feel so jealous. But you know, when you have, let's say, a new iMac, right? And your friend comes to your apartment and he sees your new iMac, and now you make him jealous. He feel envy. He's like, oh my God, that iMac, so beautiful. Fancy, beautiful iMac. I want to have the same. I'm very jealous. So that's your friend thoughts, right? And jealous, it's this kind of feeling, right? And Molly wants other milkmaids jealous. Okay? And again, some people want that, but I don't recommend you to make other people jealous. It's not a good thing of yours. Out of excitement, Molly started skipping, what does it mean? When you started skipping, you started to move slowly, and a little bit hopping, maybe jumping a little bit, right? On every step. It's called skipping. And then when you're skipping, what's happening with your pail? Of course, it's shaking, and the milk starting spilling over the edges of your pail. So, and our Molly forgot about the milk in her pails, and then the milk started spilling over the edges, and the milk was covering Molly. Okay? Now you got it all. When something is spilling over, it means that it's going out, right? It's going out, or another word, which is very good, it's just flowing over, right? Flowing over the edge, right? You're losing milk. When Molly started skipping, right? She started, losing her milk. She started spilling over the edges. I mean, milk, right? Started spilling over the edges, and she started losing her own milk. Why? Because she was skipping. She was skipping. She was almost like jumping, because she was thinking about something. What did she think of? Of course, she was thinking of money and what she will be able to buy, right? What she would be able to buy. Yeah, these dangerous thoughts. And finally, Molly drenched. But before we'll continue, let's read this last paragraph again. So Molly continued, with more money, I will be able to buy a fancy dress and make all the other milkmaids jealous. Out of excitement, Molly started skipping, forgetting about the milk in her pails. Soon the milk started spilling over the edges, covering Molly. So one more construction, what we see here is out of excitement. So out of euphoria, out of excitement, it's the moment when you just, feel so good that moment. And out of excitement, Molly started skipping, right? Because she was excited, she started skipping. She started to jump a little bit, and she started spilling her milk over the edges, right? That's not very generous of hers, right? And not very nice of hers, not very kind of hers, right? Because she was losing her milk. Finally, she was drenched. She was drenched. Drenched means totally wet. She became super wet because she was covered with milk, okay? She was skipping, and then the milk covered Molly. She was drenched, totally wet with milk. And then Molly said to herself, oh no, I will never have enough money now to buy a chicken. She went home with her empty pails. Okay. So Molly was dry or Molly was wet. Of course, she was wet. She was drenched, right? Totally wet. And Molly said to herself, yay, good, amazing. Now I can have even more than before. Now I can buy more stuff. Of course, no. She said, oh no, I will never have enough money. I will never have enough money to buy a chicken. I will never have enough money to buy a new dress. Why? Because she emptied her pails with milk. Now Molly has milk, or she doesn't have milk. She has no milk now. No, empty pails. So, drenched Molly said to herself, oh no, I will never have enough money to buy a chicken now. She went home with her empty pails. Oh my goodness, what's happened to you? Molly's mother asked. Oh my goodness, it's the same as, oh my God. But goodness, when you are a good person, why you are a good person? Because you have some point of goodness inside of you, okay? You have something nice inside. That's why you are good person, because you have goodness inside of you. And then the mother said, oh my goodness, what's happened to you? But the meaning of this phrase related to, oh my God, oh good, right? Not oh good. She said, oh my God, oh my goodness, right? That's pronunciation is correct. Oh my goodness, what's happened to you? Molly's mother asked. She was excited. No, the Molly's mother was shocked. She was shocked and she said, oh my goodness, what's happened to you, Molly? And Molly kinda answered, I was too busy dreaming about all the things I wanted to buy that I forgot about the pails. Okay, I was too busy dreaming about all the things I wanted to buy that I forgot about the pails. So, what did Molly forget about? She forgot about the pails, right? About the buckets with milk. So, now her pails are empty or full of milk. Empty, no milk. And she was too busy. She was too busy working. No, she was too busy what? She was too busy dreaming about all the things she wanted to buy. Okay? Do you remember what kind of things Molly wanted to buy? She wanted to buy a chicken, right? Why she needed a chicken? She needed a chicken because she wanted to have even more money than before. And why she need even more money? Because she wanted to be able to buy a fancy dress. Okay, she wanted to have dress. And why she wanted to have dress? Because she wanted to make all her other milkmaids jealous, envious. Okay, that's what it is. And then Molly's mother answered, oh, Molly, my dear, how many times do I need to say, don't count your chickens until they hatch? It's the last paragraph. Oh, Molly, my dear, how many times do I need to say, don't count your chickens until they hatch? And this is the moral of our story. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Quite interesting, right? What does it mean, don't count your chickens until they hatch? It means that, let's try to rephrase this. We don't need to think about things we want before we have the money or before we have something done. For example, let's imagine I have no money, but I'm thinking of buying a new iPhone. And I'm thinking of kind of job what I want to find. And I'm thinking of using my salary. Okay, but I haven't got a job yet. See what I'm saying? So when you have no job, you have no money. But I'm thinking of buying a new iPhone using the salary from the job, which doesn't exist yet. You see what I'm saying? It means that you need to be realistic. You need to have your salary first. Okay? You have your money in your hands and you think, okay, now I want to buy a new iPhone. You're not thinking about buying new iPhone before you found a job and before you made your money, okay? You need to have your job first, then make a living, right? Make some money, make some profit, and then only next you have a chance to buy a new iPhone. Don't count your chickens 1 chicken, 2 chickens, 3 chickens, until they hatch, until they show up, okay? We have something similar in our Russian story, right? But we're learning English, right? Now you have this phrase, don't count your chicken until they hatch, which is pretty usable in our real life. It's very smart to use it. It's very smart to say it. Because when you think about the future, you need to make sure that you have all the resources here and now. Without the resources, you cannot plan it. You cannot think of it in a good way, in a practical way. Yeah, you can live in a dream, but it's not realistic. You want to realize your dream, right? Not just living there, not just living in your mind, okay? So that is why don't count your chickens before they hatch. That was the last part of our mini story. And now I will read the whole story again. And we conclude with our today's episode. Let's read again. One day, Molly the milkmaid had filled her pails with milk. Her job was to milk the cows and then bring the milk to the market to sell. Molly loved to think about what to spend her money on. As she filled the pails with the milk, she went to market. She again thought of all the things she wanted to buy. As she walked along the road, she thought of buying a cake and a basket full of fresh strawberries. A little further down the road, she spotted a chicken. She thought, with the money I get from today, I'm going to buy a chicken of my own. That chicken will lay eggs, and then I will be able to sell milk and eggs and get more money. She continued, with more money, I'll be able to buy a fancy dress and make all the other milkmaids jealous. Out of excitement, Molly started skipping, forgetting about the milk in her pails. Soon, the milk started spilling over the edges, covering Molly. Drenched, Molly said to herself, "Oh no, I'll never have enough money to buy a chicken now." She went home with her empty pails. "Oh my goodness, what's happened to you?" Molly Mothers asked. "I was too busy dreaming about all the things I wanted to buy that I forgot about the pails," she answered. "Oh, Molly, my dear, how many times do I need to say, don't count your chickens until they hatch?" Okay? So that was the end of our emotional mini story. Thank you all, guys, to being with us here and now. And I hope you will have a great result with your English learning process. If you want to start learning English with me personally, I have a chance to offer you a personal lessons. Not now, but for the next year, 2023, you have a chance to add yourself to the list, the waiting list, what I have on my website, www.danilabondarenko.ru. Just go there and submit for your tryout lesson, okay? Tryout lesson, it's the lesson where you practice English with me. And that's a great chance to try what does it mean to have an English teacher. And then you decide, do you want to have lessons with me or not? It's up to you. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you to being with us. And I see you next time, and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.